Welcome to the Torah Teens Network, where we build young minds to be strong leaders of tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. As iron sharpens iron, we are entrusting the word of Yah into the hands of our youth to grow stronger, to grow wiser in righteousness, keeping the laws and statutes and commandments of the Most High. A wise youth is a crown of glory to their parents. A wise youth, instructed in the ways of Yahuwah, bring joy to their mothers and to their fathers. Our youth of today will lead the nations tomorrow. So this is why here on Torah Teens Network, we are focused on the edification of our youth. Our sons and daughters have been called to be a light to the nations. Through Torah Teens Network, they will learn the foundational principles of Torah. They will learn about the prophets. And most of all, they will learn about salvation through Yahusha. So come on and join.
Shalom, peace and blessings, Mishpachah, whether you're watching currently, if this is being premiered, or if you're tuning into the replay, we welcome you. Today you have me, your big sister Zaria, or little sis, who knows, doing Torah Teens today, and we have our lovely my lovely little brother, Joshua, if you would like to greet the family.
Shalom, family.
Yeah, so do you want to enlighten the family what we're going to be reading today?
Okay, so today we're gonna be reading James chapter 1 and breaking down a few ideas that were given in the chapter.
Hallelujah. Yes. So, um, I guess we'll just get right into it. Please follow along if you have access to any scriptures. I will be reading out of the ERV. And just follow along so you know what we're talking about, where we're at. It's really good to be interacting, even though everything is through digitally. But let's just get straight into it. So, starts by saying in James 1, verse 1, greetings from James, a servant of Yahuwah and of Abba Yahuwah, to Yahuwah's people who are scattered all over the world. My brothers and sisters, you will have many kinds of trouble, but this gives you a reason to be very happy. You know that when your faith is tested, you'll learn to be patient in suffering. If you let that patient work in you, the end result will be good. You will be mature and complete. You will be all that Yahuwah wants you to be.
Mhm.
Wow, that's deep, family. So, Joshua, why do you think Yahuwah says trials can actually be a reason for joy?
Because in the end, right, like it says in verse 4, if you let that patience work in you, the end result will be good. So you get stronger from these trials. You know, when you exercise your body, your muscles tear apart. And then once they build back up and recover, they get stronger. So the same way we do, whenever we go through hard trials and hard times in our lives and we get through them through, the faith that we have in Yah and the strength that He put in us. Um, we get stronger in the end to be able to handle harder and harder tasks because life doesn't get easier. It only gets harder as you progress. So, we have to get stronger through these trials that we endure.
Yes, he's definitely wanting us to train up those spiritual muscles. Yes, I agree with you. So, what do you think the kinds of troubles or trials that he is specifically talking about? And it can be, related to just you or, our generation, but what do you think he's specifically trying to address?
There's things like temptation, such as like lust or, you know, um, money and having fun. There's a lot of time, especially us younger generations, we have trouble with temptations. We want to have fun and do all these things, and we're growing up, so our hormones are kicking in, and we're all getting lustful and thinking all types of ways, and we just have to control ourselves and um fade off, like fight off these temptations, and stay true to what we believe in and who we believe in, you know?
Hallelujah. And that is Yahuwah, Abba Yahuwah, to deliver us from these things. He says to pray with supplication and joy to be delivered from these things. So, yeah, I definitely agree with you that um, these are very common in our society, and it's very hard to escape, especially if you are on social media. It's not even if you're not that type of person, even if you're not interested in those things, there's still you can still find it can still be found somewhere. So that's why Abba Yahuwah, he says, watch and pray, because your enemy is a roaring liar, seeking whom he shall devour.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes, so okay. But yeah, I think you said everything well. Is there anything else that's maybe sticking out to you in these verses?
Um, yeah, so in verse 2, it says, my brothers and sisters, you will have many kinds of trouble, but this gives you a reason to be very happy. Why do you think that we should be happy about these trials?
Well, me, I think is you should be happy because Yahuwah tests the ones that he loves. He puts his children through these things so that they can be better. We can be better servants. We can be better brothers and sisters. One day, a husband and wife, or, um, whatever role that Yahuwah wants for us in his kingdom. He says to count it joy, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, it's going to elevate you. And it's going to elevate you not only where you want to be, but where he wants you to be. So, and on top of that, there's many things that he wants to show you during trial and tribulation. I think most people, they kind of um, can just have such a negative mindset, like, oh, like he's putting me through this, I need to be saved, I need to be rescued. But if we experience patience and shalom in Yahuwah, then we can start to see what he truly wants us to see. He wants to show us something that we haven't seen before. So, I mean, me personally, I count it joy to for many reasons, but I think the number one reason would be to understand what he wants me to understand so we can move forward and grow in the relationship with Yahuwah.
hmm Another way you can think about it is, let's say you're playing a video game and there's a hard boss, right? There's times where people get excited to fight that boss because like either the loot or the level up, the upgrade that you get is just gonna be like so supreme. Like, oh yeah, I want this cool sword. after defeating this boss. So you get excited to fight that boss. That's how you should feel about trials in life, going through hardship. I want to get that upgrade. I want to get that spiritual strength, you know?
Yes, yes, that's a great way to look at it. I didn't even think of that, but yeah, that's a very interesting way to look at things. Because I mean, if we're not elevating, what are we doing? If we're stuck in the same place, what are we doing? How can we um how can we change things, or what do we need to be praying for to move better with Yahuwah and elevate and take the relationship with Abba Yahuwah to the next level, because that's the priority. Everything surrounding around Abba Yahuwah should be the priority in everyone's lives. If you claim you love Yahuwah and you claim you're a servant, that should be the priority.
Mhm.
Growing with Abba Yah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is great. So do you, and I can answer this as well, but I want to hear what you have to say. Can you think of maybe a struggle? Oh, think of a way a struggle could be a help. I'm sorry, let me go back. Can you think of a way a struggle could help someone become stronger?
Okay, so this is a personal experience. Um, there was a stock market crash back in I think 2016, right? I've always grown up pretty impoverished, right? Didn't have much. Um, I was used to it. We used to always complain about not having this and not having that, so always wanted this. But like after a while, we just kind of got used to it. Like, okay, we don't got this, but we're making it through. All glory be to Yah. He's keeping us through. He's keeping us going in life. We don't need all the extra stuff, right? So when the stock market crash hit, it didn't really affect us. There were people literally killing themselves over this, like it was like a tragedy. Like, oh my gosh, the stock market crashed. Like, this is horrible. It's the worst day ever. Like, oh my gosh, but to us, it was like, whatever. We're used to things like this. We're used to not having things. Even when that stock market crashed, we still ain't have nothing, you know? So it didn't really change for us. So we were already strong enough in our
Mhm.
spirit to just go through this and not be affected by it because of how we grew up and how we live our life, you know? It may have been hard in those moments, but we could have been like those people going through it, killing themselves because of how their lifestyle changed due to
Mhm.
those events.
Mhm. Wow. Wow, that's so amazing to hear, because not only did it sound like, you were Yahuwah granted you to be able to adjust, but it sounds like it produced the fruit of humility. It kept you humble. It didn't keep you searching out for more than you need. And of course, I think all of us want luxuries here and there, but it kept you humble. It produced humbleness.
Mm.
Wow. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay, well, if you don't have anything else to say, we're gonna just keep on going just a little bit. We won't keep y'all too long. Just a little food for thought, to just think about throughout the day. So start picking up in verse 4. He says, if you let that patience, oh, I'm sorry, picking up in verse 5. Do any of you need wisdom? Ask Yahuwah for it. He is generous and enjoys giving to everyone. So he will give you wisdom. But when you ask Yahuwah, you must believe. Do not doubt him. Whoever doubts is like a wave in the sea that is blown up and down by the wind. Whoa. Wow. Okay, so what do you think Yahuwah wants us to ask him wisdom for?
Um, okay, so in life you need wisdom. Without wisdom, you're gonna be just like a blind person just walking around not knowing anything, not know what's going on around you. Wisdom can keep you safe. It can, strengthen your bond with Yah because the wise man knows how important a relationship and, keeping the Torah with Yah is. Um, so, we need wisdom, which is why we have to ask for wisdom. But a lot of times people doubt his power and doubt his strength. They think, asking an invisible man in the sky for wisdom is like stupid. It's just like doesn't make sense to them. But faith is what gives you that wisdom. You need that faith in order to receive your own gift. If you keep going on in verse 8, it says people that think like that are thinking two different things at the same time. They can never decide what to do. So they should not think that they will receive anything from Yah. Without that faith, you're not going to get that wisdom. So wisdom is very important, and you have to keep your faith strong so that you can get that wisdom and succeed in life.
Yes, yes, indeed. Indeed. I don't know if I don't know if it's you, but me, I've never not asked Yahuwah for wisdom and he didn't give it to me. He's a very generous Alua, and like he just said, he loves giving to his children. So why do you think that I'm sorry, what does being double-minded look like today?
Um, Let me think.
Because for me, I think what double-minded is like almost um like they just no one who can make up their mind, or they're doubting Yahuwah, but their actions so different. You
Mhm,
know, um let's see. Yeah, I mean they think one thing about Yahuwah, but then they think another thing. And that's why he uses that comparison of um let's see, like a wave at sea that is blown up and down by the wind, because you don't know which way you're going. You all over the place, you crazy. Okay.
mhm,
So that's what kind of double-mindedness looks to me, just never knowing how they truly feel, I guess, about Yahuwah.
mhm.
You know, you say you trust him, but then he puts you in these moments to trust you, to test your faith, and then you fail, but you claim you trust him. So um that's what it looks like to me. I don't know what that may look like to you.
Right. I want to give like a scenario, right? Let's paint a picture in your mind. Okay. So let's say you're at a farm, right? And there's a dog, right? It's a big, aggressive dog and it's coming after you, right? And there's a fence and you're running towards the fence. Now you go on that fence and there's a farmer on the other side of the fence telling you, come over, you'll be safe from that dog. And that dog is coming towards you, right? But now you're on the fence thinking, what if the dog has it doesn't intend to harm me, you know? What if this farmer like isn't really trying to help me, you know? And you're sitting on that fence longer and longer thinking, all the factors in this, you thinking like what if, there's so much what if instead of taking action and just thinking about it. After a while the dog is gonna come. And regardless of what you think of the dog is gonna do what the dog does, and it bites you and it attacks you, right? And you get hurt from that. But all you had to do was just trust, believe in that farmer that was offering you help, and you could have been safe. But now you want to be thinking about this and that and this and that. That's too much because the time is coming where that dog is gonna come and get you. So you have to believe in the farmer, which is Yah. You have to believe in Yah before it's too late. You can't be double-minded and thinking, this and that and the third on the fence because When you're on that fence, you're still in danger. I forgot where it said in the Bible, you can't be lukewarm because being lukewarm is still being, too cold. You're gonna be on the wrong side. You have to be fully for Yah, or it's not gonna work out for you.
Wow, yes, indeed. You gotta be full for y'all, or he don't want it. He gonna spit you out. Okay. Wow, yeah, well said, well said. But that is all of our time for today. We read through James 1, James 1, James 1, verses 1 through 8. And feel free, if you feel like reading the full chapter, we will be reading this and exploring and expounding on this full chapter on this channel. So stay tuned for that. But that is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much, Joshua, for being here with me and um, letting y'all use you. Keep it up. Keep it up.
No doubt.
Well, we're going to say shalom, family, and may Yah continue to be with you and in his spotless, flawless will. Shalom.
Shalom.